I can't say I've had a bad life. Hell, I had quite a good one, if I'm not taking into account my mother's death. After this sad event, my father and I grew apart, mainly because I, even though not voluntarily, blamed him for her death. After I graduated high school, I moved out to another town for college. My father would wire money to my debit card each month for food, rent, and bills, so there was no need for us to talk at all. I kept in touch with a few friends in my hometown and spoke with my girlfriend each day on the phone. Getting out of my apartment for anything other than classes was pointless because, as the lazy bugger that I am, I linked my bills and my landlord's account to my debit card, so the bills and rent would be paid automatically each month. I didn't eat so much, so I skipped breakfast, ate lunch at the college cafeteria, and for dinner I always bought a sandwich on the road home. To sum it up, my day was spent usually at classes, talking to my girlfriend or playing video games. The building where I rented my apartment was nice and quiet, and my landlord let me smoke inside, so life was kind of perfect there. I spent about 3 months in this lifestyle with nothing notable happening. I only noticed that one of my neighbors was sometimes shouting insults. Maybe he's playing some online game, I said to myself, and since I used to swear while gaming, I understood and left him alone. The shouting was getting more and more violent as the days passed, but I assumed that the poor bastard might be on a losing streak or something, so I still didn't care that much. One night was different though. I was awoken by a very loud shout, which sounded like it came from right near my bed. I decided to go to this guy and tell him to quiet down a bit so I could sleep. As I approached his door, I could hear him swearing all the gods that were known to him, and raging. But as soon as I knocked, he was silent. "Excuse me," I said. "Would you please keep your swearing volume to a minimum so I can get some sleep?" There was no response, so I thought that he got embarrassed or something, and will shut up from now on. Luckily, he did shut up for that night. The following night, I was awoken again by him shouting, so I went up there and knocked. He shut up again upon me knocking, so again I left him alone. This routine happened for about 5 nights. On the 6th, I decided I couldn't take this anymore, and was annoyed to my core. I went up the stairs and knocked firmly while saying, "Shut the fuck up, man. People are trying to sleep." After knocking a few more times, the door opened, but nobody seemed to be behind it. The moment I entered, I felt the foul smell of death creeping up my nose. I switched on the lights and was hit by immediate shock. The living room was an exact replica of my room. Even the toys that I held on one shelf in my apartment were in the exact same order and had the exact same body parts missing. I noticed some red stains on the wall and remembered that back on the first day that I arrived, I spilled some tomato soup on the wall when I tripped with the bowl in my hand. How the fuck can this be here? How could he do this in the exact same manner? How? Who is this guy? How does he have an apartment that's an exact replica of mine? I was screaming all these questions in my head, and I knew I had to leave this creep's apartment and call the cops. But as I turned to leave, I saw a picture of my mom and I, the only one I had, hanging on the wall, obviously in the same spot as it was in my apartment. The fear that I felt now turned into rage. I could cope with the fact that he made a copy of everything I owned, but taking and desecrating the only thing that reminded me of my mother and hanging it on his wall made me explode in a rage that I had never felt before. A killing rage. I barged into the bedroom and the smell of death and decay hit me even stronger. But I couldn't care less about it. I saw him sitting at his desk in front of a computer screen. My rage became even stronger, and I tackled him, along with the chair in which he sat. On the floor, I felt something like goo on my face, hands, and pajamas, and puke filled my mouth as the smell of rotten flesh became unbearable even through my rage. I managed to swallow the puke back down and looked at the guy that I just slammed to the ground. "What the hell?" I exclaimed while jumping back in pure horror. It was a corpse. A corpse that had been rotting for at least a few months now. It stared at me with its dark, hollowed eye sockets. It felt like it was staring into my soul. Again, puke came rushing up my throat, and this time I couldn't keep it in. I felt soft and warm tears of terror rolling down my cheeks, and my face was locked with horror. After a few minutes, I started regaining control of my body and checked the desk in search of something that could tell me what happened here. I found a wallet and pulled the ID from it. I dropped it as soon as I saw the picture on it, and again I felt tears falling down my cheeks. In the picture, it was me. I rushed down to my apartment, tripping and falling down the stairs. The pain was pretty bad, but that was the least of my worries for the moment. Horror was overwhelming me like a never-ending darkness. The previous warm and soft tears were now ice cold and felt like razor blades, slowly sliding down my face, slashing me to the bottom of my being. I don't come out of my apartment anymore. My friends don't text me anymore, nor does my girlfriend. I tried calling, but it's always some strange voicemail saying the user is out of reach. The day after I found the body, my body, some neighbor found it too and called the police. I heard some chatting in the hallway. Apparently, I died because of internal bleeding in my skull, caused by a hit to the head that occurred sometime during the day of death. All I do now is sit in my chair, cry, and swear. I don't need to sleep or eat. At times I have so much rage that during the night I start swearing and cursing like a madman. For a few days now, I can hear someone knocking at my door, but I am too afraid to open it. The next time it happens, I will open it. I swear, I will open it. Hey guys and ladies, thanks for watching. If you want me to tell your story or read a creepypasta, email me at the address in the description. Be good to animals, even people. So.
Ja, snämmar, verksbes, rish.
Can you hear my air conditioner? You like that? I'm gonna record one thing, and then I'm gonna beat the living fuck out of you. Okay?